This is Head Bustin' Boxing, and we are back in the house. And Tyson Fury has had a lot to say over the last couple days, from speaking on Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, and other topics, Deontay Wilder. But one thing that somebody did not like and was definitely going to respond to was the allegations of how he came to OTTO WALLIN as his opponent. And basically Fury jumped out the window and said they made offers to several fighters before getting to OTTO WALLIN, and a lot of these fighters were booked. And that's true for the most part, but some of them he spoke on are firing back. And let's start with one of them, with Pulev. And I'm gonna jump into this boxing scene article. And Pulev wasn't the only one to respond, but we're gonna start with Pulev. And the article says IBF #1 rated heavyweight contender Kubrat the Cobra Pulev has responded to former unified WBA, IBF, IBO, and WBO and current lineal heavyweight champion Tyson Fury's public claims that he turned down a fight with the Gypsy King. Pulev asserts in the exact opposite situation. In fact, Fury is using me and some other boxers that he knows are currently unavailable for different reasons, just so he can get some PR, said Pulev. A few years ago, Fury refused a fight with me, and not because he wasn't available like I am right now. He was available, he was just scared. And by winning the unanimous decision over Fury's cousin Huey last October, Pulev became the mandatory next fight for the winner of the up-and-coming Ruiz versus Joshua rematch. Fury made the claim that Pulev is afraid to fight while justifying facing his next opponent, lesser-known Swedish heavyweight OTTO WALLIN, on September 14th in Las Vegas. My first goal, says Pulev, is to become a world champion, continued the Bulgarian slugger. Not to just fight random unknown opponents like he's doing. Winning those belts are my main focus right now. Fury's turn will come, and when it does, I will make him just as powerless as his cousin, who also used to talk a lot. So Pulev is definitely throwing Tyson Fury under the bus, but like I said, he's not the only one. So let's move to the next article, which is dealing with Big Baby Miller. And it says Gerald Big Baby Miller has done some outrageous stuff outside the ring in 2019, turning down a fight with Tyson Fury, however, is not on that list. The unbeaten Brooklyn-bred heavyweight heard his name drop on the August 17th ESPN boxing telecast, where England's Fury, 28-0 and 1 with 20 KOs, was on hand and interviewed in part to explain his choice of Sweden OTTO WALLIN's, who was 20 with 13 with 20-0 with 13 KOs as his next opponent. And like I said, Miller responded to Fury's claim, or at least a team member. Well, first of all, let's read what Fury and company had to say. It says, we offered to fight Kubrat Pulev, Alexander Povetkin, Charles Martin, Trevor Bryant, and Gerald Miller. Now, of course, we all know that Charles Martin's name was thrown out, Trevor Bryant, Gerald Miller, especially Bryant and Miller. But as of late, we also heard Charles Martin. Then his trainer, Davison, came out and said Alexander Povetkin as well, and Kubrat Pulev. And they said the list goes on and on. Fury claims during an on-air interview, all these guys were either unable to fight or not willing. As in the case with a lot of what the 6'9" heavyweight claims, the statement does not entirely ring true. Now here's a quote from Miller's people. How can we turn down a fight we were never officially offered? Greg Cohen, Miller's co-promoter, noted on the boxing scene Up and Ready the claims over the weekend. Yes, we spoke with Top Rank about the fight. I would describe those talks as tangential conversations at best. There were never serious discussions about Tyson Fury's fighting Gerald on the date, and there certainly wasn't an offer made. Now, if you think back a while ago, they made that clear. I mean, even though Miller's name was brought up and you saw him at Tyson Fury's fight with Tom Schwartz, they kind of made it known then that yeah, they would like to fight him, and Fury said that he wouldn't mind fighting him, but they also said they didn't think it was realistic and they wasn't going to wait around to see if Miller was going to be available. Miller, 23-0-1 with 20 KOs, has yet to fight in 2019. The brass heavyweight contender was due to face then unbeaten unified titleist Anthony Joshua on June 1st, which is pretty much, we know how that played out. It says it's very easy for any heavyweight from late April, when the positive drug tests were first reported, through present day, to claim they wanted to fight Big Baby, points out Cohen. Maybe Mr. Fury was led to believe that we were offered the fight and that we declined, but I'm not going to waste time wondering why he would make such a claim. What I can tell you is that a month from now, Gerald Big Baby Miller will be free from the WBA suspension and is very eager to return to the ring as soon as possible once he's cleared. We will happily entertain any real fight offer that is made to us. By then, it won't be as easy for others to mention his name without having to actually follow through. Now, here's the thing. Big Baby actually could have fought. It wouldn't have been allowed in New York, but he actually could have made a deal to fight Fury, but he chose to honor the WBA suspension. But anywhere they would have gave him a license to fight outside of New York, because that's where the infraction took place, he could have actually fought. So, like I said, they're saying they never received the actual offer for a fight. Now, here's the thing. He supposedly will be cleared on September the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. I think Fury is fighting on the 22nd, which is supposedly like Mexican Independence Day weekend or whatnot. So that was the reason why they was targeting that date, since Canelo wasn't fighting in that date. Me personally, if you thought it was going to be an issue whether he was going to be able to make that particular fight date, I would have just pushed it back. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a great date to fight on, but what's the connection with Fury and Mexican Independence Day weekend? There really isn't none. Now you can say, well, hold up, Floyd Mayweather was fighting on Mexican Independence Day, true, but most of the time when Floyd fought on these Mexican holidays, Cinco de Mayo, etc., Floyd was fighting normally a Mexican opponent. Then after a while, it kind of just became the date Floyd fought on, so it was what it was. Plus, when Floyd was fighting on these days, it was either, like I said, either him fighting a Mexican or it was a big name opponent. It wasn't no OTTO WALLIN type of opponent. Now, the question I have to ask with all this stuff being brought out, is Fury getting a pass? Especially when they're pushing the narrative that he's the lineal champion, which, I mean, technically he is the lineal champion. He's beltless, but he's still the lineal champion. He never lost those belts in the ring. But is he getting a pass when you consider, if he is considered the lineal champion, if he was actually a belt holder, he wouldn't be able to fight these guys. That would not be the case. And saying, well, you know, he was on a 2-year hiatus, I mean, I hear that, but Fury has been in the ring, this will be like his 4th fight since then. Nobody gave Keith Thurman that pass. When Keith Thurman sat out for 2 years, they wanted to see him get back in the ring with big name opponents. Not no, and I mean, Josito Lopez ain't nothing to sneeze at, but he isn't exactly championship material either. He's a pretty decent fighter and a good fill-in opponent, but nobody wanted to see Keith Thurman fight him. They wanted to see him getting there with Porter, Spence, Garcia, Crawford, Pacquiao, the top guys at the division. And in my opinion, Fury should be held at that same standard. And for the most part, a lot of fans are pissed off about this OTTO WALLIN fight. But you have Fury fans, and I'm not bashing Tyson Fury, by the way. I respect his ability. I've gone on record saying I do believe he's the most talented, all-around skilled heavyweight in the world right now. That doesn't mean he can beat everybody, but as far as talent-wise, if you combine his hand speed, head movement, footwork, size, and all-around ability, yeah, he's very talented. But like I said, Fury fans, they don't care who he fights. Long as he go in there and whoop the guy pretty good, they're cool with him saying, well, I don't have to fight these guys anyway because I would have whooped them anyway, so it don't even matter. I can't agree with that. But that's pretty much all I got. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know, is Tyson Fury getting a pass? And who's telling the truth? Were these guys ducking him? Because like I said, they put out a nice little laundry list of guys that they approached for the fight, and from what I understand, I believe Povetkin is about to fight Huey Fury himself, from what I remember. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But hit me up in the comment section, let me know what you think. Also, if you would like to donate to the channel, click on the PayPal button in the right hand corner of the channel, or look in the description and find the link for PayPal Headbutts Unboxing, and click on that, and you can send us a donation, like I said, to help the channel grow. But that's pretty much all I got. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell also, so you can be notified when videos drop from Headbutts Unboxing. And that's pretty much it. Headbutts Unboxing, Fight Doctor. I am out.